Welcome to Six Flags Great America. We just got here, so our first step was to stop at the little museum they have set up in their gift shop here for the park's 50th anniversary. It's small, but it's pretty nice. I do think Worlds of Fun's was a lot better. I think that's probably the best park history museum outside of the parks that have permanent history exhibits that I've ever seen. So you got some Floyd costumes. The American Eagle. So why are we at Six Flags Great America? Why are we at Six Flags Great America? Well, we're here pretty much just for one reason. This is originally Willard's Whizzer. It's now just the Whizzer. It is the last operating Schwarzkopf speed racer in the world. Yes, because Zambezi Zinger was retired from Parkdale Cafe last year in 2025. See, going at the lift hill over here. It has anti-rollbacks on it, so that's a big difference. See it? It's also one spiral shorter. Let's go run it. Say it with me. It is not the Zambezi Zinger. This is Willard's Whizzer at Six Flags Great America. It is the last operating Antoine Schwarzkopf speed racer in the world. One big difference here, you can hear, outside that, the different ride, is the anti-rollbacks that Whizzer has. It is also one spiral shorter. And then it has this ramp for stop. Here it goes. Of course, then it's also 4 cars in length. So we just got off the Whizzer. I've ridden it before, so I know what to expect. It's lots of fun. One thing that really surprised me is, when that electric lift sound motor, kicked in, I was like, this is the first time I've ridden this since I ridden Zambezi Zinger in South America in 2019. So it really, I don't know, there was just an emotional kick going there. Yeah. So yes, absolutely. Get here, ride it. It's the last of its kind. Awesome. For those that really are complaining about World of Fun and how neglected, in quotes, it is, I give you Six Flags Great America. Overgrown, weedy, crumbling. Yeah, this is the exit to the train, by the way.
Can't use the stairs because the show blocks off. The train's every 50 minutes.
Yeah, and the stairs are crumbling as well, which is crazy. Anyway, there you go. We are very, very lucky with Worlds of Fun. This is Ricochet. Looks like Fjord Fjerling. It's not. This is actually a real Huss swing around. Fjord Fjerling is a Miesho knockoff of this ride. I came here several years ago thinking it would be just like Fjord Fjerling, got on it and started riding it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is nothing like it. The cars go 90 degrees to the ground. Video. All right, Jeff is hugging Demon, which is an old Aero development ride. He says he's hugging it for Mike Parsons in honor of him because he loves all old Aeros, especially the old Orient Express, which was also an Aero development coaster. You can see. So this opened as the turn of the century and it had just the corkscrews, and then they added the loop and renamed it the Demon, I believe. Is that right?
Originally you had Instead of the vertical loops, they had two.
Corkscrews.
No, they had airtime hills.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then they took the hills out and put the loops in.
All right. Let me see if I can get some video. Neither of us could remember what the name of this ride is. We're calling it the Blue Ride. What, a B&M dive coaster? Yeah. One thing I've noticed around here, there is no shade in this park. Oh my gosh. It's not even that hot. Okay, there it goes. Just another B&M dive coaster. There it goes again. But there you go. Woo! I don't think so. So the coaster that we call the Blue Coaster is Wrath of Rakshasa. There we go. Another detail Jeff mentioned is that since this is a newer B&M, it kind of has that B&M rattle that the newer B&Ms have. Patriot has a little bit. Let's see if we can hear it. Yeah, a little bit. You can hear it rattling a little bit. Oh yeah, right there. It's rattling all over the place now. More Blue Coaster footage. So Jeff and I are trying to wonder what used to be here. I think they used to have their the monsoon-like ride, the shoot the shoots, the intimate shoot the shoots.
Here, the car ride was over here.
Yeah.
Behind the X-Flight. The X-Flight is my favorite.
Yeah, I think we both rode X-Flight the last time we were here. It was brand new, so that tells you how long it's been since we've been here. It's been at least 10 years.
You can really hear it on this one.
And we're commenting on the rattling. And like we said, Patriot does it a little bit, but not like this. So we are over by the American Eagle and noticed that the queue, the really cool old kind of carnival looking like queue house is completely gone. I don't know when that changed. But here we are right next to this funnel cake place that used to be their old Von Roll Sky Ride station. So it's not just World of Fun that likes to repurpose their Sky Ride stations. So at California's Great America, which was built to be identical to this park, they still have their Von Roll Sky Ride. It's actually one of only 8 still operating in the United States. There it is. So someone said about a week or two ago, it is unacceptable for a park to have no rides down for operation. Well, excuse me, but so far there has been 2 today at Six Flags Great America. Not the end of the world, I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying it happens everywhere. This is their log flume, by the way. So this Little Dipper, it actually originated at Kittyland. I rode it there. And now hopefully we're gonna get to ride it here. So just got off the Little Dipper coaster. It's fun. Like I said, I rode this at Kittyland many years ago. It's very mild, great starter coaster. Unfortunately, they don't really build them like this anymore. Especially, it actually still operates with its skid brakes. I haven't actually seen a coaster operating with skid brakes that wasn't a manually operated coaster in a long. I don't think I've ever seen one like that. Of course, with skid brakes, that means it can't run in the rain, but it's a much smoother braking than the pinch brakes that most coasters use. Anyway, you can read a little bit about the history. It was actually built in 1950, so this coaster is 76 years old. And it was built by Philadelphia Toboggan Company and designed by Herbert Schmeck. And if anybody knows Joyland in Wichita, Kansas, the coaster there was also a Herbert Schmeck coaster. Anyway, so definitely a nice little addition to the park. So this is the Yankee Clipper. It's an aero development type of flume ride, similar to Viking Voyager, but I think it's a little bit more intense. First time I ever came here, it was the Yankee Clipper. Now I think it's the Aquaman. It's the DC universe. But yeah. So we walked by a ride earlier that was like Voyager, and it wasn't operational. But the interesting story with this is that first time I ever came here, of course they had the triple wheel still then too, but Jeff tried to get me to ride this because he was like, oh, look at that drop, it's not that big. Anyway, so it's actually one of their original 1976 rides. It's pretty cool. So some of you might remember Falcon's Flight at Worlds of Fun. It was, didn't operate very much. It was added in 2017 and they finally took it out in 2022. This is one of the only ones that I know of that is actually in operation. It's been here for a long time. It's a Husk Condor ride. It is actually called a Husk Condor ride. And I do think that parts of Falcon's Flight were sent to this park to keep this operational. Hopefully they'll run it here in a minute.
In 1971, Marriott engaged the Los Angeles architectural firm of R. Ewell Associates to design and plan Great America. A master plan was developed, as well as thousands of sketches and working drawings. And in October 1973, construction activities began on site. A highly specialized management team has been formed to oversee the many and diversified areas of theme park operations. Experienced specialists from the theme park industry and professionals within Marriott Corporation bring to the management group a high level of expertise in each area of responsibility. One member of the Great American Management Team deserves special recognition. His area of responsibility is the most important area of all. Ladies and gentlemen, may we present Great America's Vice President of Good Times, Mr. Bugs Bunny.
Let's go ride the Columbia Carousel. Go to the upper level here. And then there's some interesting detail I'm going to show you guys. Stay tuned. a distance. So for those that remember the Carousel in Europa at World of Fun, some of these horses should look similar. We'll talk about that in just a second. So why would the horses here look similar to the horses on the Carousel? The Carousels didn't look a whole lot alike. They're actually very similar. The horses on the top here, most of them are based off of molds from Bradley and Kay, just like the horses on the Carousel were. Now Bradley and Kay actually bought a C.W. Parker Carousel and made molds of all the horses so they could make fiberglass copies of them. Chance Rides would buy Bradley and Kay pretty much just for that reason, so that they could get those molds. And so the horses here, at least some of them, are identical to the horses on the Carousel that is now at Carolyn's Pumpkin Patch. Interesting detail. Oh, that's nice. They have a covered loading station. Look at that. Oh yeah, that is chopper track.
As we approach the 21st station, I kindly ask that you please remain seated until you hear one short blast of the whistle. Again, please remain seated until you hear one short blast of the whistle.
So this is X-Flight. It's a a B&M, stupid, B&M wing coaster. This was brand new the last time I was here. Jeff told me that this took the place of the old moon car ride, like antique car ride. We're gonna go under Demon here, which is an aero coaster. A lot like Scream Roller, that's not a Coinky Dink. They are both aero development coasters. Tunnel. beyond that is Raging Bull, the B&M hypercoaster here. And Raging Bull, that opened the year after Mamba. I think it opened in 99 or 2000. Raging Bull. 99, I think, yeah. That's what I thought too. The coaster we have named the Blue Coaster. Can you hear it? There's Whizzer. Back there kind of hiding. Doing what speed racers do the best.
As we approach Hometown Station, I kindly ask that you please remain seated until you hear one from the whistle.
So this looks like just a basic restaurant, right? It is. When I was at California's Great America a couple years ago, though, I did a video of the identical restaurant. So I thought it would be kind of cool to show both of them back to back, since both parks, California's Great America and Six Flags Great America, were both built as Marriott's Great America, and they were both built pretty much identical to each other originally. So they both had this same restaurant, and they both had the Village Wizard behind it. And of course, this is the only park that still has the Whizzer. So I kind of had a hunch when I passed this restaurant earlier that this reminded me of a restaurant at Six Flags Great America. It used to be Aunt Martha's. I think it's like Struthers or Strikers or something like that now. But it looked very similar. The important point is that that restaurant is directly next to Whizzer. Of course, there is no Whizzer here. There used to be, because they were built as identical parks. So I matched up the photos, and this is exactly the same building as Aunt Martha's. I mean, down to the trim, it's exactly the same. So that means the Whizzer would be right about here, if it was still here. Anyway, fascinating little detail that you guys would enjoy that. Jeff is going to be getting off a Railblazer here in just a second, so we'll see what he thought. Interesting little detail Jeff noted is that these benches are pretty much identical to Worlds of Fun's old benches, except these have metal slats, not wood slats, because both parks were designed by MGMR director Randall Dewell. So they're very similar. The bathrooms are actually eerily similar too. So, okay. Love these old benches. So we're leaving for the day. We were here, what, like 4 or 5 hours? I think? Huh? Almost 6 hours. Okay. So,
About 4 hours.
4 hours. So you had a good time. Did you have a good time, Jeff?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. All right. I got to ride Whizzer, which is the primary goal of the visit. I figured if I was going to be in Chicago, better is I get up here and ride it while we can. I don't know if it's going to be taken out anytime soon. I'm just saying, take advantage of the opportunities you have. And it was great. And of course, we ended up buying some stuff. Duh. And Jeff has his Rush concert tomorrow. That's actually the reason we came to Chicago. And then after that, on Thursday, we're going to be flying to Kansas City and go to World of Fun. So we'll see you there. And if not, you guys have a great weekend. And I'll see you at the park.